These are embarrassing and silly mistakes. The problem with Man United is that, first of all, Man United do not operate in a vacuum. Other clubs are very powerful, and the Premier League has gotten stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and more clubs are able to compete in it. But the descent and decline of Man United is quite staggering to some extent, because they are a poor imitation of themselves. And it would appear, I mean, obviously, Radcliffe allowing narratives to spin out about who runs the football club and how it's controlled and why he's making cost savings and all of those things are things that he could have perhaps handled better and done in bite-sized chunks, so he didn't get this perspective of the curmudgeon outlook that he's got. But the money that they spend, the managers that they recruit, the decisions that they make, it's difficult not to criticise them. It's difficult not to criticise the handling of the Ten Hag situation, not the fact they were entitled to have a review, because they were. They didn't employ him. They didn't just have a review. They gave him a new contract and then fired him 3 months later, which everyone knew they were going to do. The Brailsford situation, whether he's good at cycling, and I don't believe that people can't translate between sports, doesn't mean that he's going to be a fascinating force inside football. It didn't work for Clive Woodward. I have had people involved in other sports that I've been involved in, seen that they can be useful. But in this instance, it didn't work. The pursuit of Dan Ashworth. These are embarrassing and silly mistakes. And then the Ruben Amorim situation. I mean, you can't legislate to some extent for the combustibility of some of these young, silly managers and their unprofessional behaviour. Both him and Maresca were childlike and unprofessional in their reactions to circumstances and situations and the way that they wanted to handle them. Amorim's probably to get himself a payout because he didn't want to be there anymore because the job was bigger than he anticipated, and Maresca because he's a child and probably thought he could get something out of the situation, like a job at Manchester City. But all of those things are should be dealable, and if you've got the ability to spend the kind of money that they have, you really should have the kind of understanding of what you're doing, which they don't seem to have.